Welcome back to the Crypto Power Hour, the number one crypto show on Rumble, numero uno. Of course, powered by Solum Global with your hosts, Lance Migliaccio and George Balloutine, the Crypto Bros. And you know what? You're at the right location because this is your ultimate deep dive into everything crypto, blockchain, and decentralized finance. Whether you're a seasoned investor or just stepping into the world of digital assets, we bring you expert insights, top interviews, exciting new projects, breaking news, and game-changing innovations shaping the future of digital assets. Because you know it all the time. On this show, in crypto, we trust. George B.
Yes, sir.
My brother from another mother. How are you, man?
But the same father. I'm doing well. It's Friday. This is the last show of the day. You know, 3 and done. It's a long day, but you know,
running and gunning, doing what we do.
I love doing the crypto show. I like to save it for last.
You know, I do too. I enjoy doing the crypto show. I look forward to this. You know, sometimes you're so busy and you get like, oh God, we got to do a show. Oh man, I got to do this. You know, and now the grass is growing again. Here comes the lawn mowing and all the maintenance around the house. It comes with summers. You know, well, of course, my wife is moving her business. You know how much I hate moving.
Oh, I do. Boy, I do, because I hear it all the time.
Yeah, she's moving her business. So, you know, she's moving in a bigger location. Things are great. I mean, it's great for her, but it's just a lot of work. I was up till about, 11 o'clock last night, helping her clean carpets in the old space and get it all ready, all that stuff. Just, didn't enjoy it.
Tell the wifey to clean. Go get a carpet cleaner, bro. It takes,
Yeah, I tried to get all that done. You know, now that she's not here, I can say it.
But you do it to yourself.
I asked her to do that. I asked her to do all that, and she just kept pushing back.
You know, I hope she didn't watch yesterday's show, because I said something about her with you, same thing about moving. She watched
she watches some of the shows, but
I might be in trouble.
No, she's too busy to watch the shows right now. So you're probably safe because she's, getting everything ready, and she's got new machines coming in. You know, she's at non-invasive clinic for the audience. So, all right, listen, if you like the show, don't forget.
I got to be nice, because when I do go by you guys at clinic, I get all the free stuff. So if I'm not nice, she might charge me.
Exactly. No. If you like the show, don't forget to thumbs up, comment, share, subscribe, follow. The Crypto Power Hour, of course, if you know us from the Big Mig Show, you're already following over there. But if you're not following the Crypto Power Hour, hit that follow button. If you could do the paid subscription for $5 a month, great, please do. If you can't, we understand. Just do the regular subscription. Let your friends and family know, because we try to give you all of it. We've got an education segment we do every show, and it's all about kind of simplifying and helping you with this new crypto language. You know, it's like a new dialogue. You need a new dictionary. So many terms, so much information, so many different blockchains, so many different wallets. Trust me. Even for us, we're grinding away. We're reading all the material all the time. And even us, it's hard to keep up with all of it. But this is your home base, the Crypto Power Hour. And if you're not following Crypto Power Hour on X, and of course, True Social and Getter, please do. And if you're not following the Solum Global, who is powered, the show is powered, of course, sponsored by Solum Global, we want you to head over there and do it. So heads up, man. George, you've got an education piece. It looks exciting. I'm excited to do it. Let's start digging in, man. Let's get to it.
All right. You want to get to it? Let's go. Listen, this is a must hear, Lance. We always do. You and I have lately been doing the deep dives. I hope everybody's been enjoying it and learning. But before we go, I'm going to say, if there's something you want us to talk about, or something about education or topics,
or a guest,
please email us. It's gb@solum.global. or lm@solum.global. We're open. Like, if you have contacts, people that want to be on the show, that are involved in crypto big time, we'll bring them on.
And if you'd like to sponsor the show, you can use those same emails. We're looking for a few good sponsors, some big projects, maybe some big wallet companies, Binance, Coinbase, Kraken. If you guys would like to sponsor the show and work with us, also the National Crypto Association, if you guys would like to be part of the show, we'd like you to be part of the show, because take a look at the views. We're rocking and rolling. Yep. We'd like to expand the show. Of course, that takes great sponsorship and great teamwork. So if any of you guys would like to be involved with the show, let us know. The number one show, crypto show on Rumble by views. You take a look at it. We're crushing every other show on there. So we're happy to be here. Happy for you guys to join. And it all sounds good, man. Let's rock and roll, George.
All right, let's go. So we got smart contracts and financial technology, also known as Fintech. So stick with us. This one will change the way you think about money forever, right? What if you could sign a deal, send money, buy a house, and transfer assets without needing a lawyer, a broker, or a bank? Doesn't that sound so good and enticing?
Sounds like a dream.
You
Is that
get
even
rid
possible?
of all the headaches, extra money you got to pay for. Is it possible? Of course it's possible, Lance. This is not a dream. That's what smart contracts do. You want me to pinch you?
I know. I feel like sometimes when you say that, when you say to me, you won't need a lawyer, you won't need a broker or a bank, I start it's like a warm and fuzzy feeling. Because and what's really amazing about smart contracts, the fact that they're a digital agreement, and they're done in code, of course, and stored on the blockchain, as we discovered and really opened your eyes up to on the last show. But when you start thinking these things are executed automatically, and you don't have to have all these layers and all the costs. George, I feel like I might be dreaming.
Well, you know what? I have an analogy for you, Lance. Wake up from the dream. Because thinking of it like a vending machine for legal agreements, right? Let's say.
Yeah, that's great.
You program the rules. Like send $500 to this address, send $300 to my address, send $1 million to Lance's address.
Please.
If the work is done by Friday, right? Let's just say. The smart contracts, they wait for the trigger. Like, we'll call it like a document is uploaded, right? It's easy. Triggers, document uploaded. It automatically executes the agreement. Boom. Payment sent. Lance, you get your $1 million?
No, but I'm waiting anxiously. I'm watching my phone for notification. Feel free if you need my wallet, my Solana wallet address.
I was just going to say that. I was going to bring that up. We didn't put your wallet address up.
Yeah.
But so all this is recorded on the blockchain. It's permanent, it's public, and tamper proof. Right? So, when you always need that person that you got to hit the paper, sign it, a notary, right? Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
Just to get an appointment with them or you got to pay them. There's no middleman.
Oh, wait, and what about those legal bills, George, where it goes 0.15, walk to the water cooler, 0.20, called the client, 0.30, had called client to interact and to figure out whether the document was correctly executed. You look at that bill and you're like, what the hell is all this shit on my legal bill?
Well, listen, there's no chance of someone ghosting you after a handshake. But when you brought up lawyers, right? You don't need a lawyer. Just think about it. How in today's world in this country, everything you do, you need a lawyer. And I was just talking about this with somebody 2 days ago. And they're like, why? I'm like, I'm going to tell you why. Most of your legislators, politicians, they're lawyers. They went to law school. So what are they doing? They want to make everything where you need a lawyer. Why? Because they're looking out for their brother or sister lawyers.
Yeah, you got to keep the good old boy network alive and thriving.
That's things they teach you. They teach you in law school that they won't really talk about, but I'm talking about it. So let's break it down a little further. We're going to go self-executing. What is self? Self. It runs by itself. That's it. No human needed. What? No human? Oh my God, it might be actually faster, quicker, no mistakes. I don't know. Blockchain based, which means it's immutable and audible. No intermediaries.
Yeah, the fact that transparency is a big deal to me. I love the auditable part of this.
Transparency.
And the fact that you have these no intermediaries, no third parties, and nobody. I know the audience. Please tell me, you guys get in the chat, make a comment. How do you guys love hidden fees when you're selling a house? You love all those fees: title fee, processing fee, this fee, that fee. You get done and you're like, it's like another 4 G's out of your return on the house, maybe more, depending on. You got to pay this, pay that. I love that, and
so
I love it.
No
also
hidden fees.
about this.
Is that what you tell me? No hidden fees, Lance?
I'm loving no hidden fees. I mean, man, how much? I wonder this. It'd be interesting if an American in a 10-year period added up all the hidden fees they'd paid, how much that would be. So imagine in this case, not only you got no hidden fees, now you got transparent and traceable, so you can see every step on the chain, so everybody's verified. And once it's executed, right, once you come up down with the actual plan, it's unchangeable. So what's the value, George, of no aggravation, having to worry about changes, no aggravation of paying for the hidden fees, no aggravation, the fact that it's transparent? I mean, this sounds like the best world you could possibly be in.
Oh my God, that means what? No stress, less stress. What does no stress mean? You sleep better. You're in a better mood. But Lance, So I want to say our good friend Miguel from Solom, Spain is on. He's listening. He's not in the video, but
Miguel
he's listening.
Morales.
But I'm sure Miguel loves the fact that there's no hidden fees over there. And he's in Ibiza, by the way.
Ibiza. Yeah.
Ibiza. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. Living large.
In Ibiza. Yeah.
The Balearic Islands.
So,
of course, I like to live in Majorca. And then maybe go over to Ibiza once in a while to hang out and have fun. But Majorca is beautiful too.
And you know what? And I'm sure Miguel likes when he sends money to my wallet that there's no like crazy fees like you would transfer with like PayPal or Western Union. He's probably smiling right now, like shaking his head. He's smoking a cigarette, probably shaking his head. Like, but let's go. This is, you know what, Lance? When we talk about transparent and traceable, and the thing about transparent, you can see every step, you can verify it. And that's one thing where Solon Global is full transparency.
Yeah.
And
fully audited books, guaranteed when it comes to liquidity. Liquidity is guaranteed. That's the thing. Solon Global is making some major moves in the healthcare market.
An outside audit, though. It's not an audit from in-house. They hire an outside company to do the audit. This way, it makes it more transparent. There's no, they work for you. No.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's big.
And if you don't know them, head over their URL if you want to know more about them. They're doing some amazing stuff in healthcare. It's going to change the healthcare world, and because they're integrating blockchain and AI to get rid of fraud, delays, payment. Anybody, I don't care who you are in the healthcare industry or otherwise, you want to go check out solum.global. Go check them out. Great company, and there's an opportunity to get involved. They are doing some capital raising on private equity. So if you're interested in getting deeply involved, or if you're a healthcare provider, you really want to know about this company, you might want to call them yourself and then make the intros that would help them grow even faster than they're already growing, even though they're growing crazy.
The URL,
solum.global.
The URL is actually under the video in the more section. You'll see the URL there.
Great.
It's easy for you guys.
Great.
But like when we talk about when it's on the blockchain and you have all different nodes, it's unchangeable. Once it's out there, you can't modify it. It's you're locked. You can't change it. Which is great. And this is next level trust.
Yeah.
Right? Not because you trust someone, but because you don't have to. The contract does exactly what it says every time. And that's next level trust. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's a wave of the future. It's what we got to bring the forefront to transfer everything onto the blockchain because there's no other way. If you want safe, secure, and verifiable, blockchain it is. I mean, Lance, what's the bigger picture? Let's talk about that.
Well, look, here's the deal.
Right?
This is a financial revolution, and you guys have to recognize that you're already living in and I'm going to use an acronym, Fintech, and that's short for financial technology. You're already in that environment, right? It's the reason you can pay a friend on Zelle or Venmo. You can invest, by phone, right? You can go and buy crypto in seconds. It's also, Fintech's the backbone of basically everything in the blockchain finance world. But the kicker is it's merging with this blockchain. You take the normal Fintech, the standard Fintech, the Swift banking system, and now you're integrating into the blockchain. And I think this is the most explosive combo as far as financial institutions in the financial world are concerned, because all the governments and banks are jumping on. You already know the Trump administration is full go, right? So a while ago, it wasn't so long ago that the governments were trying to kill crypto. You had Gary Gensler at the SEC, the little weasel. Even when I say his name, I kind of go, ugh.
You really don't like him, huh?
Yeah, I don't like him. And of course, all these governments, they're building digital currencies, and those are all, so everybody knows, we may say something on this show like CBDC. That's short for central bank digital currency. You don't have to get overwhelmed. I'm not trying to do to you what lawyers do. MIT did a study, and they say they keep the legalese very complicated so that lawyers can keep that good old boy network going. What we want to do is break down that legalese on this show, like central bank digital currencies, and make it easy for you guys. So if somebody goes, what do you think's going on with the CBDCs? People love to do that. They love to show their mental, aptitude and their acuity based on hoping they know more than you do. But in this case, central bank digital currencies. And there's a lot of countries already on board, George. Canada, Singapore, China, Japan. I'm just naming a few. And I think it's because, and people say, well, why would they do this? Why wouldn't they just continue to do their normal banking thing? Well, look, with digital dollars, it moves faster. It cuts out fraud. You get full visibility in every single transaction. And I think this is the important part, but there is a dark side here.
Yeah.
And this is the thing I'm concerned about. Yeah, man.
I wish I could do Darth Vader's voice. Welcome to the dark side. Luke.
I am your father.
What is dark side, right? It's the same transparency could mean you have zero privacy. Every transaction logged forever. Now you have even Europe's right to be forgotten laws can't erase blockchain.
Yeah.
But,
that is a little unnerving. There's no doubt that's but that's also why the blockchain is so transparent and so difficult to manipulate.
But when people think about the dark side too, about digital currency, they think, oh, you want to take away the paper currency. So eventually it's going to happen. There's not going to be paper money no more. You're not going to have coins in your pocket. Right now, the U.S. government's thinking about stopping making pennies because it's just annoying. So here's the thing. If the good guys can get a hold of this from the beginning, then we have a chance. As long as we don't let the dark side, I'm going to say, get a hold of this, we're fighting.
And I think you have to think about efficiency because money is time, time is money. And the great part about fintech and blockchain, the way it's integrating is it's speeding up everything. So let me give you some real world examples, okay? Let's talk about just cross-border payments. The old way, if you were sending money by Western Union, by a bank wire internationally, by MoneyGram, it wouldn't matter what you used, right? It always took 3 to 5 days and really high fees. My wife would send money. She has family in Africa. She'd send them back money and she'd be like, my gosh, I just sent a couple $100 and here's how much they took. Crazy. And sometimes they needed it instant. So you had to use something like Western Union, super expensive. But now this is going to be instant and low cost, And I think you can send like BitPesa. Here's one example where you send money from, say, a country like Kenya to China in seconds using Bitcoin. Now that's a $170 billion market moving faster than ever. Now, and what about payroll? You look at this company called Bitwage. If you guys aren't familiar with them, you go look bitwage.com. That lets workers get paid in Bitcoin or stable coins. They get to choose. And even if their boss pays in dollars, so they can get their payments in crypto. They don't have to take it in dollars. And I think this is a big deal. And George, DAOs, I think these decentralized autonomous organizations, they're really going to make a lot of moves.
Who, DAO? Listen.
The DAOs, yeah.
I think so. I mean,
decentralized autonomous organizations, I think, are a big deal.
So when you just look at, I'm going to hold on, because you bring DAO, you think stocks and everything, but I just want to say something.
No, not DAO, not like DAO, like DOW, DAO.
I know, yes, that's why DAO. I was going to, all right, so you want to break it down for them real quick then.
Yeah, these are investor communities that, and you have to realize what they do is they pull the money together and make decisions via the blockchain. So there's no CEO, right? There's no overlord. It's just code and token holder votes. So, of course, if you get bad code, that could equal big losses, and that's a little frightening. Like, if you guys remember, there was a big DAO hack. I think there's about 60 million or so in Ethereum that got lost. But the concept about DAOs is they're leaner, faster, and borderless. And they're here to stay. That's not going anywhere because, of course, that low transaction fee is appealing to everybody. So I think we have to really go into it. We have to think about the future, right? Let's go into the future of let's predict. Wayne's World, get a little.
The future of money.
Yeah. This is a crystal ball. Wait. I want to talk about the crystal ball, George.
Hold on. I'm going to just take this, it's like a crystal ball.
Yeah, let's look ahead. I mean, really what people want to know is what's coming next and what does this mean for me?
All right. So we got what's coming next. Micropayments. Pay pennies to unlock an article, a song, a snippet of a course. Pennies. With smart contracts and blockchain, small payments are finally profitable. That's big, right? What about real estate? Tokenized real estate. Buy a slice of real estate in another country like buying stock. Blockchain verifies ownership. No paperwork, no gatekeepers.
And I got to jump in here for a minute. I bought international real estate. I bought some stuff in Montreal years ago. I bought some stuff in South Africa years ago. So I bought some international real estate over the years in different locations.
And you need to get a lawyer over there and everything?
Man, it is complicated. And even when you get done, it's really difficult to know if you. Now, I've never been jacked, but I've every time had to go through so many steps. Came close on one deal in Africa, where the misrepresentation of the ownership was kind of evident at the end. But I want to tell you that it's very, very difficult. It's not clean. It's not streamlined. Even the garbage you go through here. I mean, the last time I sold a piece of property here, I think the documentation I signed, with all the, I can't even remember how many copies, but it was about a stack like this. I'm like, what the frick? Why is it this complicated to buy and sell property in the United States? Because everybody's got their hand in the pie, George.
So let's say, for instance, I'll give you an example. Our friend Miguel Morales in Ibiza, right? He's there, and I want to buy property. I'm here, right? I can do it all through the blockchain. I don't have to get a lawyer over there. Everything's verifiable. Blockchain does that. No paper. I mean, just think about it. Lance, you said a stack of paper. No paperwork. I mean, you remember how much paperwork just buying a house here? How many times you got to sign?
I'm going to tell you crazy. Something. I did it down. I had a piece of property in Belize. I don't own it any longer. I sold it down there. It was a beachfront.
Oh my God!
I remember when I bought it to begin with.
Why would you sell it?
I know. I look back now. It's probably one of my only pieces of property internationally that I regret selling. It's a long story why I sold it. But
I could have been in Belize right now doing the show.
Yeah, it was beachfront, and there were 3 different owners involved in the property. They'd had a dispute over years, and it took me weeks and weeks and weeks to sort out. They all agreed to sell, but it was like this one was this, and that one was complaining about that. Total pain in the butt. Now, let's talk about the potential to unlock dead capital, because right now across the globe, and this is just an estimate, I think it's higher than this, there's 9.3 trillion. That's with a T. I didn't say B, 9.3 trillion. And that's unregistered land, homes, and businesses, and all in the developing world. And those assets can't be financed or borrowed against because they're not really verified or authenticated. So think about what the blockchain could do to take that dead capital real estate into active tradable assets. Imagine unlocking global wealth for people in Peru, Kenya, maybe Colombia, Venezuela. These would be incredible opportunities to change the global real estate market. And the fact that these people could access capital, improve their properties, and change their lives, that is powerful, man.
It is. I mean, I'm just thinking, Lance, you got me upset, but I could have been on Belize on the beach right now.
Yeah, it was a beautiful piece, too, George.
Let's look at the big picture.
150 front of beachfront.
All right, don't tell me no more. You be quiet. I want you to just mute you. All right, we're gonna look at the big picture. What's at stake? All right, so when you have all technology and innovation, it comes with a big upside, right? And there's always risk involved. All right, especially with new innovation. We're gonna go over the benefits and risks. Benefits. We just said faster payments. Things can get done. Lower costs. Get rid of the middlemen. Get rid of the banker. Global inclusion. I can go right from here. I could buy a property from Miguel Morales in Ibiza through the blockchain. Right? And it's all transparent. It's all on there. Everything can be seen. And then audit, it's in real time.
Yeah.
I mean, so now the risks, loss of privacy. You know what, Lance? I'm going to say something about privacy. We lost our privacy a long time ago.
Yeah, that's true.
If you don't think everything's on there, like when you go on any of these social medias, you put your information. You go to the airport. You don't think they're scanning? They're using the facial technology and everything. They're just doing it.
Yeah.
Well, the other risk is what? Security hacks. If your wallet's hacked, there's no customer support.
Yeah, you lose that seed phrase, you're hit.
Well, it's not if you lose it, if it's hacked. But if you lose your seed phrase, that's different from being hacked. If you just get sloppy and lose your phrase, you're losing your wallet.
Yeah, I was talking about somebody hacking your seed phrase is what I was kind of referring to.
Hack your wallet, whatever. Unforgiving code. Mistakes can't be undone. So you have to know what you're doing. And then mass surveillance by governments. Anything bigger government sucks. We hate that. But you got also another thing is permanent financial records. What does that mean? It's good for regulation, bad for personal freedom.
Yeah.
I don't know, Lance. This isn't just about faster apps or new tech. This is about the battle between privacy, transparency, decentralization, and control, individual freedom, and state power. And you right now, that's right, Lance, you are living in the start of this transformation. So am I.
Well, here's the thing. I think everybody says, okay, George, well, that's great. Sounds exciting, but what can I do now? And I think this is where the Crypto Power Hour, this show, comes into play. That's why you want to follow us.
Give us the
because it's
playbook,
going to be
Coach.
bigger and bigger. We've got a national radio deal working right now that was going to take the Crypto Power Hour all over the world and even put it on terrestrial radio, it looks like. We'll tell you about it as it happens. We can't go into too much detail yet, but here's what you could do. You're saying to yourself, what can I do with all this? So I'm going to give you a playbook, and this is all about you getting started. We had some guests on the show, and they said, how do you get started? Maybe you should just buy a few stable coins. You really don't have a lot of risk with a stable coin. Just buy a few, get them into a wallet, and maybe try to pay for some things with it. So I say you want to learn how to first start by learning how to crypto wallets work. Find the company you want to go with. There's lots of companies that provide crypto wallets. There's lots of companies that provide cold storage wallets. Watch how these smart contracts are used in the decentralized finance world. You want to track financial and fintech news. That's why you want to follow the Crypto Power Hour. You want to follow the Crypto Power Hour and Solom Global accounts over on X. Maybe follow the host, George Balloutine, myself, Lance Migliaccio. And you want to start thinking about decentralized digital currencies developments and pay attention to what countries are doing what. Watch what the administration, Donald Trump and the team are doing, and then really diversify your digital knowledge, like you diversify your investments, like you diversify your skill set at the gym, like you diversify your skill set maybe if you're a handy guy at the house. You want to think about expanding your skill set. Pick one area, learn what that area means for you, and go like that. And I think what's really important is by subscribing, sharing this episode, following us on X, Rumble, YouTube, and everywhere the podcasts are found, because we're on all the podcast platforms. You just want to really keep focused, stay curious, learn about decentralized networks, and get ready to go, because it's coming. It's not going to go away, and you're going to have to do it. We'd rather have you ease into it than having to flip a switch overnight, George.
Yeah. So one thing I'm going to touch on a lot of people has $20 to spare, right? So what Lance was saying, get a wallet, put $20 in it, and mess around, play around. It's $20. Buy digital coin, buy some crypto,
buy some Solana, or maybe buy some XRP. Buy something. An XRP. Go for a stable coin. Go for something that's really standard, that you're not worried about it going up and down. You're like, oh my God, I don't know what's going on with this. And learn, just, make a transaction. Find some company that accepts Bitcoin or a stable coin and just make a pay, because you can buy Bitcoin in micro amounts. It's not a stable coin, but at the end of the day, if you want to buy a portion of a Bitcoin just so you can make some payments and practice, do this before you risk any big money. We don't want you to lose money. We want you to access generational wealth. That's what this show is all about. It's all about education. These are the things you want to do preemptively and kind of give yourself that slow walk in. I always say, when you educate yourself, you have to crawl, walk, and then run. I'm suggesting you start with the crawl. If you're not doing it, get involved, do something.
All right. This is it for today's education segment of the Crypto Power Hour. We're going to be going to a break, but we want to make the complex simple for you guys. The future feel closer. So until our next educational segment, stay curious, stay decentralized, stay ready. Yeah.
And here's the deal. Definitely get in the chat. Let us know what you think. Of course, myself, Lance Migliaccio, George Balloutine, the Crypto Power Hour on In Crypto We Trust. We will be right back. We're going to talk about World Liberty Financial's USD1. Of course, it's been selected as the official stablecoin for MGX's Binance investment. This is big news coming out of World Liberty. It's going to be a big player. You're going to want to know more about this. It's opportunities coming up for generational wealth. Crypto Power Hour will be right back.
As an American who keeps up with the real news, you know by now the severity of the economic issues that are plaguing our great nation. My name is Jonathan Rose, and I'm the CEO of Genesis Gold Group, the only major faith-driven company in the industry. 2024 is a year full of uncertainties, with trillions of dollars in national debt, inflation impacting your savings, and a pivotal election year. Your peace of mind is more valuable than ever. Now is the time to use physical gold and silver to preserve your hard-earned retirement savings with a gold IRA. Call Genesis Gold Group today. Our team has decades of experience helping folks just like you take their first step on the path to true financial freedom with a gold and silver IRA.
Call Genesis Gold Group today at 1-800-200-GOLD for a no-commitment, informative consultation with one of our experts to find out if we can be a fit for you. Call now at 1-800-200-4653 or visit genesisgoldgroup.com.
In a world of uncertainty, be prepared with Silver Prepper Bars, your ultimate hedge against political instability and economic turmoil. Introducing the Silver Prepper Bar, crafted from 0.999 pure silver and proudly made in the USA. This tangible, divisible asset can come in handy even in the toughest of times. Portable, perforated, and easily tradable, the Silver Prepper Bar is your lifeline in times of crisis. When facing inflation, currency devaluation, and financial meltdown, Silver Prepper Bars provide peace of mind. Don't wait for disaster to strike. Secure your future today with the exclusive Silver Prepper Bar, the only silver bar on the market divisible into 3 different size pieces for maximum utility, all while fitting in your wallet. The smart choice for savvy investors and preppers alike. With Silver Prepper Bars, you're ready for whatever tomorrow brings. Hi folks, I'm here today to introduce you to the Prepper Bar from PrepperBar.com, the most unique precious metals product we have seen in a long time. These 62-gram bars are perforated and easily broken down into your choice of 3 different sizes to fit a multitude of needs. Whether it be from asset protection from inflation, economic turmoil, or its unique utility for barter and trade, the Prepper Bar makes a perfect gift for all the precious metal lovers out there. Exclusively made here in the USA and selling out fast. Available in both gold and silver, these slim Prepper Bars fit neatly in your wallet, and their utility enables use in any situation. As gold and silver prices continue to surge and top economists predict upcoming shortages, now is the time to secure your precious metals in the form of Prepper Bars. Go to PrepperBar.com now and place your order before supply runs out and prices go up. All payment methods accepted. Order your Silver Prepper Bars now at PrepperBar.com. Silver Prepper Bars, ready for whatever tomorrow brings. Order now.
All right, welcome back to the Crypto Power Hour, where we break down the wild world of money, crypto markets, and everything in between. That's powered by Solom Global, with your hosts Lance Migliaccio and George Balloutine. Now, what do we got? Big news. World Liberty Financials USD1 is selected as official stablecoin for MGX's Binance investment. Now, Virtual rallied as much as 38% yesterday, following renewed investor interest after the Virtuals team rolled out a big Genesis update aimed at boosting transparency across the ecosystem. What were we just talking about in our education segment? We were just talking about how vital transparency is. It's key to knowing that everything's going right, that there's no nefarious activity, and now they just made that big update. So,
Virtual's up 300%, George. That's big since they hit that bottom there. I think that's big when you look at the intraday on it, and their market cap, which is always a big goal for all these companies. They just passed the $1 billion mark. So their daily trading volume was almost 600 million, and that's a 60% increase from the previous day. These are some big numbers these guys are cracking and racking.
It is, and the yesterday surge, it added fuel to a rally that kicked back off from April 25th.
Yeah,
when Virtual they finally broke out of the 40 to 80 cent range, where it had been consolidating since mid-March. So what are we talking about here? Since pushing that consolidation zone, push, the price has more than doubled, gaining over 100%. And we talk about that, break out of that zone. You talk about, let's say, we talk about XRP all the time, Lance, right? XRP's in that zone, is going to break out. The next zone you're saying is what, the 280 mark, 270? We'll see what happens. But that's what it is.
But when we look at this project, I think what's important to recognize, everybody says, well, what's driving the price? What's driving the price? It's, and I think it's all about the momentum that's created. They just did this update at the Genesis launch, and it's really about new token distribution mechanisms that help bring users, devs, and of course, AI agents into this Virtuals ecosystem. And I think that's what we have to always think about, is the expansion of ecosystems. And that means more trade, more activity, more transparency, and of course, access to all the markets we're not in. Only 5% of the globe owns crypto right now. So I think developers, having the opportunity to choose whether to auto lock their token allocations or set, clear, transparent vesting schedules, that's all visible to users. And I think that, this is a big announcement. I think it's the key catalyst. And I think with that listing of the token, Virtual's token on crypto's Binance.USA, it's big stuff because, of course, major exchanges typically drive renewed investor interest. We've seen it on Kraken. SNEC just got listed on Kraken. For you snake people out there, SNEC, and of course, that drove some new price and a bunch of new people holding SNEC. That's a meme coin, but you can look into it. Pretty interesting community. I think this surge is, big when it comes to the futures open interest. And I think with this 3-month high, I think we're going to see more of this, and I think we're going to see more acceptance of this. Well, let's throw up that chart, George. Let's show the chart.
It right now.
Yeah.
Here we go. Go ahead.
Yeah, and what I always look for in a lot of the projects is this continued ascending pattern. It doesn't matter if we're looking short term. A day isn't enough. Sometimes I'll look at a 6 month, a 1 year. I like to see continued ascension, even if we see some dips. It's that continued upward trend, and I also like to see increased ownership, buy and hold ownership. I don't mean people that just pump and dump. I mean people that are actually acquiring a token or a project, and they seem to be committed to the long run. And I believe that's always a bullish signal. That's my own personal opinion. You always want to talk to your financial advisors. Remember, everything on this show is not financial advice. It's educational advice. It's the fact that we want you to be educated, so when you talk to your financial advisors, you know whether or not you agree with what they're presenting you. So, I think adding to the momentum is the super trend indicator. It flipped green, as you can see. That's in the next chart, George.
I got it. I'm coming.
Oh, yeah. And that chart shows, you can see that we're already setting up that next key target for Virtual, and that's that $2, and I call it the $2 psychological resistance level. It's about 48% higher than where it currently sits. And of course, we haven't seen that level since April. I think when you start seeing, support, and that's what we're seeing with Virtual, we're seeing support coming into the market. We're seeing some institutional play in the market. That's when you can break that next resistance level. When we break through I think $2.20 is likely. And again, talk to your financial advisors. So, and I think even people all over X are optimistic. I think you want to watch the social media signals. Those are a big deal. When you start seeing a lot of momentum on social media, that's how we break through those horizontal resistance levels. So, according to one of the people on X, and it's CryptoBull_360 is who we got this from. It looks like it's poised for a major breakout above its horizontal resistance. So you're going to learn about these resistance levels. I may be talking up, over the head of some people, but I want the experts to enjoy the show too. And I think if this momentum holds, George, the bulls, I think we're looking at could be eyeing 80 to 100% upside on this token. So stay tuned on this.
Well, yeah, others like BitBoy also believe that Virtual could see more upside if it manages to hold above 160. At press time, Virtual was exchanging hands at 163 per token. So, I mean, yeah, it's likely. Look, if there was exchanging hands at 163, I think it'll get there. Especially with
a lot of support developing at the 160, so we may not see it claw back from that point unless there's some real horrendous online news about something.
Listen, transparency is always key, and when you're transparent, it means you're not hiding anything. So that's companies you want to look for. So. And then look, we're talking about
more World Liberty financial news.
They're integrating with the Tron network. So
they're USDA 1 to integrate with Tron.
Yeah. So on the Token 2049 stage on May 1st, Tron is 1.3% founder Justin Sun announced that network will be collaborating.
TRX. They own part of that. I want to make it clear to the audience. So TRX owns part of Tron.
We'll be collaborating with Trump-backed crypto venture. So they're integrating the stablecoin, USD1 into the blockchain.
Yeah.
And Tron came out and said, he says, I'm really honored we can collaborate with USD1 on launching the stablecoin to further make this available to 7 billion people on Earth. He said during his session with Eric Trump.
Yeah.
So,
and Sun's a bright guy. He's been really successful in the crypto world. He's created a lot of wealth. And I think, when you start talking about, even World Liberty's co-founder, and he's kind of their co-founder and second in command there, Zach Witkoff. If you know Witkoff, he's talking about this project stablecoin. pegged to the U.S. dollar, backed by short-term U.S. government treasuries, U.S. dollar deposits, and other cash equivalents. And the fact that it's going to be natively integrated, I think that's super exciting. Here's his quote. We're very excited about that. We should be mining, in the hundreds of millions of dollars to start, and I expect it to reach many billions of market cap very shortly, said Witkoff. And I think when you look at this, Sun officially joined the World Liberty Financial as an advisor in November of 24. He also invested around $30 million in Donald Trump-backed decentralized finance project. He's the largest investor, so he knows what's going on the inside. MGX's $2 billion USD investment in Binance is huge. So, I think with this integration, it really brings the World Liberty Financial USD1 to the mainstream. And I think that's what's important, George.
It is. And listen, the more exchanges you get on, the more you're out there to everybody, and the more your token, and everything's going to go up in value. But Lance, I got to say something. This next segment, this secrets XRP bank ledger. I didn't really know much about it. I was reading into it earlier, and they're saying there's an expert that explains this secret XRP ledger is where banks are reportedly trading XRP for 1,000 plus per token.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Let me share this with you.
I got tokens.
There's a lot. Look, hold on a minute. Let me say this now. This is an expert. It's a guy well known. He's well known. I've grabbed some of his stuff. You may have heard me mention it before. His accounts, all things XRP. He goes by on XRP_investing. And again, these reports we've heard, some of this relates back to the SEC and some of the inferences where they couldn't really say what was going on. So he's explaining there's an XRP secret ledger where banks reportedly are trading XRP. That's right. You heard me right, $1,000 a token. Some people said there's some secret ledgers where they're trading XRP for $10,000 a token. Now, a lot of this has got to do with those unrealized and unannounced contracts. And of course, the behind the scenes potential for XRP, of course, Ripple we're talking about to replace the SWIFT system. So there's a lot of discussions. So this secret version of the XRP ledgers where these banks are doing this by moving billions of dollars. We've heard some things about, for example, Ripple talking about paying their fines to the SEC in XRP and those coins being added to the U.S. Strategic Reserve. It isn't a conspiracy. Ripple does have a private ledger, and what we're talking about is the ledger is a separate closed version of the public XRP ledger, and that private ledger is specifically for central banks. So the reason they have privacy is, of course, for compliance, national scale currency issuance and issues. All things XRP stress that this version of XRP ledger does not really rely on XRP and is entirely isolated from the public network. But it's interesting because what does that mean, about that? Now, some people are saying, no, XRP, the 1,000 on a secret exchange, there's been lots of circulation and it's been for years going on. There has been discussions about a merger of the ledgers to unify the XRP price, meaning the private and public ledger. David Schwartz, he's repeatedly debunked this narrative. He's saying there is no dual pricing mechanism for XRP, that the central bank digital currencies private ledgers does not use XRP at all, and that there's no secret market. But there are some things in the court case that make me question whether that's true. So whether or not this is true or not, a lot of people say it makes no sense for XRP to be anywhere near as cheap as it is. Of course, after 7 years of SEC bullshit, that's part of what's happened, right? It's created a false pricing model for XRP.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate here real quick. So my take is, I don't think they are trading at higher prices, and I'm going to say why. If it was true and everybody believed it and seen it, then the XRP price right now would be going up and up. Because what's it trading at? Almost 260, whatever it is, 250. So that means it would be. If there's talk of, and it's real, that they're trading at $1,000 and up, I don't know. Me personally, what I know, I don't know where
XRP is today. Yesterday, I think it was $2.22.
No, it was more than that.
No, it's right. I'm right. I looked at it yesterday just to check. I
was
think it
it?
went up to 225. Yeah, I mean it's coming back. After that dip, it's coming back slow, but it's not a big deal. It's. I think it's accurate. I think I'm right from yesterday. I don't know. I didn't check it this morning.
probably.
I don't babysit George, and I don't babysit our XRP by the day. I look at it for the long term.
But you would think that if this was true,
Yeah.
that there is a secret ledger and you're trading with 1,000 more, that the XRP price would go more. It'd be more than $3. It'd be more than $10. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's one of those things. I always like to cover these stories to give people kind of the devil advocate version. Let's talk about Morgan Stanley and E-Trade. Now, this is big to me. Morgan Stanley, and we don't have all the current numbers. I know back in 220, 221, they had 5.2 million customers. They were holding over 360 billion in assets. Of course, E-Trade was acquired by Morgan Stanley in 2020. That's what we're getting our data from. Man, this is big because the executives at Morgan Stanley are going to adding, a spot cryptocurrency trading to E-Trade, making it more accessible to their million of, members on E-Trade. I think they're going to be doing it next year. And I think it's because of Bitcoin and other pressure that's coming on them that a lot of their people want to be able to trade along with their regular stock trading. They want to be able to trade their crypto wallets. So I think this is massive news, opens the market way up. When you get a major player like E-Trade and Morgan Stanley saying we're going to add it, that tells you that crypto's here to stay. And that's why you're here on the Crypto Power Hour, because you want that education. That's why you want to get on top of companies like Solum.global, of course, Solum Global, the sponsor of this show. You want to educate yourself because these are the kind of things that are going to change the viability, the accessibility, and the future of crypto, in my opinion, George.
In your opinion matters, Lance. Listen, anything that Morgan Stanley, Chase are getting involved in,
Yeah.
They haven't been around since whatever it was, 1900s when they started, or the 1800s going into 1900s, and been one of the global leaders in banking, and not do something where they think it's going to be bad. So, I mean, they're making an E-Trade platform. Let's see how it is. I mean, I don't know what kind of fees. I think their fees might be higher because, let's face it, they're Morgan Stanley or Chase. So we'll see. I'm going to rate them
pretty
optimistic.
reasonable, but I could see them, not being as inexpensive as other trading platforms. I could see that. Of course, maybe they're going to have managed accounts, managed assets. It's not necessarily what E-Trade's all about, but maybe some people are going to feel the need to have a managed account and have more experience. We talk about blocktrustira.com. It's a way to invest. You can have a managed account. You can manage yourself up to 60 different cryptocurrencies. That's one of our sponsors of our other show, Genesis Gold Group.
You want me to tell them about BlockTrust?
Yeah, why don't you do that? Why don't you take a minute and tell them all about it?
So, all right, it's a new innovation that's partnered with Genesis Gold Group. It's up there. They are blocktrustira.com. So they are your partner on your Bitcoin journey. They're powered by Animus Technologies. And what they're doing, they're empowering all Americans to take control of their financial future by providing secure, intelligent, and accessible cryptocurrency investment with the familiar structure of an IRA. So let's go. In a world where you have traditional retirement strategies that are struggling to keep pace with inflation, economic uncertainty, BlockTrust IRA offers a clear alternative geared to work with individual investors to secure their future financial wealth. So if you have a 401k or an IRA, you want to transfer it over to blocktrustira.com, you could do that. If you don't have them, you want to start your own 401k or an IRA, you could do that. If you simply don't want to do neither of the two and just want to invest, well, guess what? You could do that too, because they are your AI cryptocurrency IRA platform and the AI revolution in your IRA. So their AI investments outperforms the market, and their market leading management, get this, with no hidden fees. That's right, no hidden fees. And Lance just said it, they trade over 60 different cryptocurrencies, and they're rapidly accelerating American retirement wealth. It's blocktrustira.com. And what was it, Lance? Bitcoin Magazine awarded them what? The number one?
Yeah, they were so let me say this to you. So the beauty of what they do over there is, number one, if you want to do your 401k or your IRA, no problem. They're all set up for that. Number two, if you just want to invest money in general, I think you might have to have a $25,000 minimum, but you can go over there and you can invest just regularly. The key to it is they use AI technology, and they competed recently. Bitcoin Magazine, I think it was about a year ago, had a contest to find out which AIs were the most successful. Now, right now, Animas Technologies does Bitcoin and Ethereum. They use their AI trading for. And they're going to be adding XRP shortly. But their AI trading was determined to be the best and most successful trading platform in the world when it came to AI and trading Bitcoin. And Bitcoin Magazine awarded them $1 million in seed capital. And you know, Bitcoin Magazine vets everybody. They've been around the longest. They're kind of the 900-pound gorilla in the room when it comes to knowing. So the fact that Animas Technologies won, number two, if you didn't watch that interview early on, you can go back in our episodes. We had the Animas Technologies guy on the Global Finance Forum. He came on the show. We're going to bring him over to this show and kind of talk about the product also. And I want you guys to know about it. The point is that if you don't really, it's hard because you want to get educated, but you also don't have crypto trades 24/7, 365. So you've got to have around-the-clock access and around-the-clock expertise. And that's the great thing about AI. It's working for you around the clock. These guys are, averaging massive, 125% returns pre-fee, and the fees are very low, pre-fee yearly. Now you tell me where you're going to get that from. And they're not trying to hit the very tippy top, and they're not trying to hit the very low. They're just trying to get the sweet spot in the middle, get 80% of the sweet spot in the middle. And they're doing it very, very well. That's blocktrustira.com. This is not an infomercial. They do, Genesis Gold does sponsor the Global Finance Forum show we have, and that's the financial roundup show on Rumble, 1 p.m. Every Friday. So check it out. Come over there. Look for the interview with the guys from Animas Technologies. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Great product. I really think it is.
Sam Altman's back. What's he up to? Sam Altman's world.
Yeah, man.
Eyeing U.S. rollout. Eric Trump says crypto will leave big banks in the dust and more. So World, which was previously known as WorldCoin, is launching in the United States. Now we all know that the project OpenAI CEO Sam Altman he founded the project OpenAI, and he enables users to verify their personhood via crypto, projects marked infamous eyeball scanning orbs to establish a world ID and earn wild tokens.
Yeah, and that goes by WLD for anybody who wants to look it up. That's how that token is.
I have a question. What does he what does he mean by eyeball scanning orbs?
Yeah, he's doing imaging of the eyeball, the retina, because the retina is the most unique biological part of the human body, more so than even a fingerprint. So he's opted to use the eyeball, and what it does is he's coming out with this global ID that would his plan and his hope, I believe, is to replace seed phrases by only allowing you access to your crypto through a retinal scan, which, it would be a lot safer than a seed phrase because you'd have to have the individual in front of you. You'd have to force them. I guess you could rip somebody's eyeball out of their head, but I'm not sure that it wouldn't tell that temperature and otherwise. It's very sophisticated. And his plan is to establish a world ID. And how he's getting people to join the database is offering them a token. So they're being rewarded for coming into the system. And this is Athena Labs and of course, the Athena Foundation. A lot of people know about them. They partner with the TON Foundation to introduce synthetic stablecoins, USDE, and in the TON's blockchain ecosystem. And of course, this is a big deal. And they're also closely tied, of course, the messaging app giant, Telegram. So look, I think that you have to think about crypto. It's trading hotter, than ever. It's making big moves. You're going to see a big event, token 2049 at Dubai. Bitcoin's back to 97,000. You saw us hit it. We've got lots of green candles on other coins lighting up tons of projects. So the question is, are we back? Or do you sell before the May and walk away? Do you take some of that money off the table? People always talk about the first and quarter. But I think, this is my opinion, the crypto world is stabilizing. I don't know that we're going to have that early, the hot spot of only the first quarter of the year. I feel like it's changing rapidly because there are a lot of people. I met somebody the other day. Older person said they bought their first Bitcoin the other day. And this was a couple of weeks ago. So they've already appreciated quite a bit. And they were excited that they'd never been in it. They decided to buy a couple of Bitcoin. Looks to me like they probably already made, I think they told me they got in at 83 or 84,000. So they're already up 13 grand a Bitcoin, I think, 12 grand a Bitcoin. So this is big stuff. And I think when you start looking at projects like what Altman's doing and the fact that WorldCoin is launching in the United States, which wasn't here before, and that's what we're seeing. There were a lot of coins you could only access from out of the country. We're seeing more and more of the wallets accepting these international tokens, George, because, you've seen it, George. We had to buy this wallet, that wallet, and you had to buy this coin to trade for this meme coin or this altcoin. And I think what we're seeing is mainstream acceptance.
They must have been watching the show in the beginning when we first started rolling out, when I was talking about
exactly.
Maybe. But, the one thing where I can see people maybe like shying away from is the biometric about your eye scan.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, who's going to have that data? Is that data protected? But I'm going to say something to everybody. Every time you walk out and there's video cameras out there or security cameras, they're scanning, they can easily take your facial recognition right there or your eyes. So it's already out there.
Well, and let me say this.
When you
George,
when you use Face ID to unlock your iPhone, what do you think they're looking at? Your eyes, everything.
Yeah. The way that his product works, at least what I know about it, is that it takes a deep visual imprint of your eye. So even if you had, and this for the audience might think, George, well, what about the video cameras? What if they could catch your eye? You won't be able to do a simple scan.
No,
this does a full retinal mapping, like a 3D map of your retina. And that's why it's so sophisticated. He's taking it to another level. It's not just a picture.
I was just trying to tell people that because they might be skittish of it, but they're pretty. Your face is being scanned all the time. I mean, truthfully, if I can take my phone and get into my account and just it scans my eyeball instead of have to remember to see phrases or get it out. I mean, oh my God.
Yeah. I agree, but here's the deal. So the U.S. rollout's going to kick off in 6 cities. This is big news. They're going to be in Atlanta, Austin, Los Angeles, Miami, and I think Nashville, and then San Francisco. I would have skipped San Francisco myself. You know how I feel about Nancy Pelosi. I used to live there. It was an amazing place, but she's ruined it. So you're marking a major step, I think, for this project. They're going to be providing a means to differentiate between humans and AI-generated actors like bots, which is always a concern for facial recognition. The debut in other countries, a lot of people were worried about what's going on, but it's been working. They've proven the model works. It says it only uses the data to establish that a person is human and does not store the user's data to establish that a person is human and does not store in the biometric information, thus eliminating potential privacy risk. They've got a way to do it that's guaranteed. They guarantee that it's going to be very difficult, if not impossible, to commit fraud. So this U.S. rollout, I think, is important, George. I think it's going to happen. I think everything's going mainstream. And I think for this show, I think what we wrap up with is the fact that you have to get involved. You cannot hunker down. You can't be, stick your head in the sand. It's not a possibility as an ostrich. You can't do it. So my opinion is take those baby steps now. Get involved. Get your family involved. Your friends and family. Get your maybe just start trading stable coins with your family, your kids. Send them a stable coin. Send them a payment. It doesn't have to be a Bitcoin. Send them $100 in a stable coin. Make them get involved if they're not already. Now, a lot of the young people are already involved, so that's going to be the easiest part. But I think when you look at this, there's lots of opportunity. They're going to wade into all these different markets, online data. They're going to be looking at projects across the board, real estate and everything else. You know that these contracts, these immutable contracts, are on their way. Let's start now. So the Crypto Power Hour is the #1 show on Rumble because of you guys. So first of all, I want to say thank you to all the subscribers and listeners. If you're not subscribing, hit that follow button, hit the subscribe button. If you can do the paid subscription for $5, if you can give us a Rumble Rant tip, we appreciate that. It all goes back into the show and the show production. We're looking at a national syndicated radio deal. It's probably going to happen, so we're excited about that. You can now find us on almost all the big podcast platforms. You want to get involved and check it out. Join the Crypto Power Hour. Follow us on X. Follow Solum Global on X. Follow georgeballoutine on X. And follow the Lance Miliaccio and the Big Mig Show on X. Get involved. In crypto, we trust, baby. George Balloutine. Last words on the way out of the door.
It's Friday. This is our last show. We're done for today. You all have a blessed weekend. Stay healthy, stay safe. Most importantly, stay frosty. Peace out. Love you all.